Alright girls and guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have got an F Series F25 BMW X4. This is in for MOT repairs on a snapped coil spring. So let's get to it. So in order to get to the coil spring, you need to empty the boot. Yay. Well, let's empty the boot. So I'm not sure where the top mount is, but looking at, it's actually the near side coil spring that he's doing. So the spring's there and it goes up there. So from what I can see, it must be entry from inside the boot somewhere. So let's gain access to it once we've moved hiking stuff, I believe. Okay, so we have gained access to the 3 top mount bolts. They're there, they look like 313s. So you just need to take some of the trims out and move all the luggage line and stuff like that. Don't need to take all of this out because there's screws up there, which would mean taking apart all the plastics at the top. So we've avoided that and just kind of wedged it out of the way. So the 313s, so now what we can do is whip the wheel off, we'll jack the car up, wheel off, etc, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we've got it in place. We've not jacked the car fully up, we've just taken a little bit of weight off the spring. Now I'm gonna hop up and undo the 313mm at the top and then jack the car up so the shock comes down with it, undo the bottom bolt, take the wheel off, etc. I'll show you as we go along. So now it's time for me to jump upwards. So we are undoing all the 313s at the top. Now they're out of the way, let's put these bolts in a nice, safe, secure position so we don't lose them. And then we're gonna go back underneath the car and continue that. Hold on. Yeah, the 3 bolts, they're there, let's not lose them. All right, we've got the wheel off. Now you can see the snapping discovery right there. That's not good. So 18 and 18, we need to get the spider jack to support this so we don't get a shocking hit to the head. Oh yes, the puns are terrible. Okay, so we've taken 18 out of there, 18 from the shock. I actually undid that one first, let it come down, then undid that one, so it was just a little bit easier. And now we are free. Well, I've got to peel this down a little bit and I need 2 hands, or I should be using the tripod that I've got to do this, but I can't bother to go and set it up. So I'm going to peel this down and take the shock absorber out, probably from the top of the shock. There you go, sorry. Right, we've got it clamped and we have applied a bit of pressure. Now this is ready to undo and it is a 18mm socket. Yes, I am using the chrome because the other one's on the other side of the workshop and I've got this one now. Only joking, I don't fancy having metal shards in my face. We are using an impact and doing it properly. All right, there we go. That is the broken spring and that is the new replacement. Now, the smaller part of the coil goes to the bottom on this one and the big coil goes to the top. They are different on all sorts of models, so don't assume just because of that, it's all the same. There we go. Right, so we've got to get that seated. So this bit sits there, obviously, sorry, there to there. So that will sit on and round, obviously, once you've compressed the spring. And then it's important to get the bottom seated in the correct position, which look, the stopper's there. So, God, this is giving people motion sickness, I can feel it. So there you go. So that's seated at the bottom nicely. Now we'll set the clamps up, compress the spring, and drop that bad boy down. Just check the shock isn't buggered. No, shock is all good, nice and taut and tight. So, time to set this up and compress the spring. So now we've got it all done, we've got it all tight. I used the 18 and an Allen key to make sure it's double tight. Now what you want to do, just to make your day really good, is get this stuck against the top mount, so you have to like give it some taps to get it out. Because, you know, it is nice getting things stuck, so we'll relieve that and then get this fitted. All right, so we did a little bit more and didn't record it. So when you do this, you need to make sure when you take the shock out, I would mark from the bottom of the shock to the top mount, or mark the top mount when, well, basically you need to make sure the 3 bolts at the top line up with the bolt at the bottom. Otherwise, it's not going to fit and it's going to be out and you can't easily turn it. So what I did is I had the spring clamps, put the spring clamps on, just compressed the spring ever so slightly and then rotated this enough for it to line up again and then remove the spring clamps. That's how I got it to line up, because I was about 45 degrees out. That is quite an important thing. But now that's all done and tight, so we're going to mark up all the bolts, the wheels on, and then we're going to take it for an MOT retest. Okay, we are down on the floor. Everything's all good. Now, last thing, and always make sure you do, just torque the wheel up. Last thing you want to do is see a wheel overtake you while you're driving. It's not a good look. And then we're going to take it out on road test, make sure everything's all good, and then bring it over for the MOT. So this one is nearly done. So we've taken it for a nice little road test. We are happy with how the car's performing. Now, it would be good practice to change springs in a pair, as we would normally do. However, the customer desperately needed the car, and there was actually only one spring in stock, so only one got done. But again, this is done. We are happy. It's passed its MOT now, so this one is done.